of error. Here's Southern Methodist University political analyst Cal Jilson.
These early polls mean that this is a close race and they both need to run like hell.
The poll also shows both Democrats losing to a Republican in November, with incumbent Senator John Cornyn winning the widest margin. The father of former Nickelodeon star Kiana Underwood is devastated, saying he's heartbroken that no one stopped to help his daughter in her final moments after she was hit by two cars that fled the scene. In a now-deleted Facebook post, Anthony Underwood remembered her as a loving, joyful spirit taken too soon. And Danity Kane's Aubrey O'Day says she's concerned about Sean Diddy Combs' eventual release from prison, telling Variety she doubts his sentence is long enough for real change. Get BIN News now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Got issues with youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit, offers more than 1,000 free online resources for youth and high school sports coaches, parents, students, and administrators. Visit PCADevZone.org.
Is this the tackle?
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The NFL has set starting times for next Sunday's NFC and AFC championship games. The Rams are at Seattle, 3:30 kickoff local time on Fox. In the AFC, New England is at Denver, kickoff at noon local time on CBS. Seattle is a 2.5-point favorite over the Rams. The last time the Rams were in Seattle on December 18th, they lost 38-37 in overtime and rolled up 581 yards in total offense against a pretty good Seattle defense. Another NFL head coach is looking for work. The Buffalo Bills fired Mike McDermott Monday morning after 9 seasons. 8 teams now have an opening for a head coach. Buffalo is one of 11 NFL teams that have never hired an African American to be their full-time head coach. That list includes the Rams, Dallas, New York Giants, Jacksonville, Seattle, Baltimore, New Orleans, Washington, Tennessee, and Carolina. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hi, I'm Tavish Smiley. You may have heard me talk about the new course I'm teaching, The Art of Conversation. Well, it's here, and I'm holding a live, free preview session on January 26th at 6 p.m. Pacific. Here's why this matters. For almost 40 years, I've made my living having conversations that count. Presidents, activists, artists, people who've changed the world. And I've learned something in the process. Most folk have no idea how to ask a real question, how to listen, how to create a moment. Whether you're building a business, leading a team, hosting a podcast, or just want to connect better, this changes how you show up. It's free, it's live, and I might have a surprise guest joining us. Here's what you do. Go to TavishTalks.com. That's TavishTalks.com. Scan the QR code, click the registration link, and you're in. It's January 26th, 6 p.m. Pacific. I'm keeping this intimate. Don't miss it. I'll see you in class.
First things first.
First things first, it's the DU General, Money B. I'ma put you up on the schedule, 6 to 9, 8 weekdays, not 2 and 7. Let's go. We got a lot to talk about, so much to pedal through. Unapologetically progressive. Tune to KBLA 1580 to get the mess. We're your ancestors' favorite radio station. First black on talk radio, left side of the nation. Me and Dominique DePrima go way back. Time Smiley making sure the station stays black. Discussing all the issues in our community. We're hosted black and brown and others find unity. So let's talk about it. Maybe we can improve it. Digital underground, always down with the movement. So we tune in. The first things first with the queen of black talk radio, Dominique DePrima. Go sis.
First things first.
KBLA Talk 1580. Good morning. Good morning and God bless. I'm Dominique DePrima. This show is called First Things First, and my very first thing today and every day is God, is prayer, is giving thanks and giving praises and asking for blessings from the Most High, asking for the blessings of the ancestors and the elders. And let's go. We do have a lot to talk about. It is a Talking Point Tuesday. It kind of feels like Monday because yesterday was MLK Day, even though we didn't have the day off around here. But we did have the parade. But anyway, happy Talking Point Tuesday. So this is how we're going to do it today for today's Talking Point Tuesday. Hour one, look local, what's going on left coast side of town. That means me, you, and the microphone telephone. Miles might jump in if he feels like it. You can call me or hit me up on social media. We're at KBLA 1580 everywhere. I have my own stuff at Diprima Radio, Diprima, and then radio. And you can DM me or comment on a post. All that stuff is good. And then we'll talk about it. Hour two, we typically go national, international, and beyond. And today we'll be talking national, international, and beyond in the arena of policing. We have investigative journalist Cerise Castle joining us. And that should be fascinating. Looking forward to talking with her. And then we'll be joined by Michael McCarty, who is an expert storyteller. So it'll be story time in hour three. And, well, maybe it's a bit of a prelude to the art of conversation with Tavis Smiley, the art of storytelling. Be brushing up on mine for sure. And he is a fascinating guy. He'll be live in the studio. So we are streaming, of course, you know that. Hopefully you know that. On YouTube, it's youtube.com and then KBLA 1580. You can make a comment, let your position be known, or introduce a new topic. That always happens in the comments section. We're streaming on YouTube, but we're also streaming on Facebook these days. So if you want to tap in on that platform, you certainly are welcome to do so. But if you're trying to reach me, go to the DMs, especially Instagram. I'm always there. Sometimes I'm on Twitter. And then, you know, I'm on YouTube every day. Yeah. Every weekday. So we do have a lot to talk about. Did you go to the MLK parade? Did you go to any MLK parade? As you know, I was in Long Beach on Saturday, and I was at MLK Kingdom Day on yesterday. And I rode in the parade with Black Lives Matter Grassroots, BLMLA. Happy to join my colleagues. It's an interesting combination of activism colleagues and radio colleagues because they also, of course, host This Is Not a Drill Saturday mornings at 8 around here. And I love the community, the fellowship. I love the history. It's a way of passing on history without, you know, sitting in a classroom or reading a book, because people always bring the little ones. That's part of what's fun for me too about these celebrations, is seeing all the beautiful babies, all the little kids of various sizes, teenagers hanging out. They're going to get a little bit of history. Everyone was talking about the fight or fights. I guess there were a couple of them at the parade. And, you know, I rode through the whole parade, right? Well, really, I walked most of it. And then I went to Lamert for a little while, where the after party, I guess, is. Hung out there for a minute. And then I walked back around to King and watched the rest of the parade until the very last float. I had friends from out of town calling me saying, "Oh, was the parade shut down? You know, ooh, there was so much violence." No, there were a couple of fights. And so I really want to challenge my friends in media, particularly black friends in black media or black friends in not black media, to be mindful of the way we talk about stuff like that. I know if it bleeds, it leads. I know you're looking for clicks, so you want to post fight video and talk about how we're savages and we can't have nice things, and kids today are terrible and their parents should be lined up and shot, and blah, 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 blah. Charlie Brown's parents in one ear and out the other for me, because I feel like several things. One, Y'all blow things out of proportion to get clicks. Number two, people, kids, especially teenagers, but people have been having fights at concerts, community gatherings, parades, malls since forever. It's not just this generation. I guarantee your generation did it too, and the one before that, and the one before that. And I'm not saying that to excuse it. I'm not saying I, encourage people to fight. But come on now. Stop acting brand new. You know you fought, and the generation before that fought. Maybe you personally were Mahatma Gandhi, but most of y'all were not. And you suffer from something. Maybe not you, but whoever, and you know who they are. You know who you are, but you know who they are, that I call selective amnesia. So to me, selective amnesia is when you get to be 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, not a kid anymore. And you only remember the good things you did and none of the crazy stuff y'all did. Well, when we were kids, we stayed home and did our homework. We played till the street lights came on and then came and cleaned our rooms and did our homework and milked the cows. Stop it. You did not. Maybe you were doing a different set of things than this generation. Maybe not. I know for sure if my son did the stuff that I did when I was his age, I would have freaked out. I don't think I would have been able to handle it. Not saying I was terrible, but I did some things. And I don't have selective amnesia. I remember fights at hip-hop shows going all the way back, right? Not just hip-hop shows. Community festivals, at school, at the mall. Going, wait. So stop it. Let's not act like there's this, our youth today are so terrible and everything's going to hell in a handbasket. And young people, the way their brains are wired, they are less risk averse. When you get older, your brain actually chemically changes and you have more aversion to risk. Young people can be reckless. They have a different brain structure. Anyway, I wanted to say that because I think that you're going to see stuff online. There's some video going around of fights. And people are commenting in a way that to me is very irresponsible in a sense. Collective amnesia-y, falling into this sort of trap of, number one, demonizing young people, which divides our community generationally. Number two, condemning our whole black group, community, as, problematic, which plays into the mainstream cultural narrative and the narrative of this particular administration, which already wants to come and lock y'all up. You're trumping. That's what you're doing. If you're sitting there going, the young people, the world is ending. Their parents should be, locked up. You're trumping. We have a demonstration and Trump says, LA's on fire. I need to send in the National Guard. No, there was some demonstrations in a certain area. Some people might have been wilding, but for the most part, it was peaceful. And we got this. It's under control. That, the young people. Let's send in the National Guard, the Marines. Let's deport them all. Let's put them in ICE detention centers. This is called human behavior. Let's get over it. Let's not be alarmist. Let's treat it the same way you treated it in 1960, 70, 80, 90, or 2000, whenever you were experiencing circa whatever year you were experiencing your different brain function period of taking more risks and not always thinking things all the way through and thinking more extremely. Young people is good or bad, my friend or my enemy. We got more shades of gray or shades of brown as we grow. Let's not do that. Let's not do Trump thinking. Let's be grounded in reality, understand human behavior, and own our own stuff. Right? Right. Parade was fun. I had fun. I hope you did. It was nice to see so many people out. It was a beautiful day. Oh, yeah. Well, we'll address this when we come forward. Also, some people had stuff to say about the police response to the skirmishes that took place. And by the way, they were not in or during the parade. They were on Crenshaw and at the mall, as I understand it. I was not there. I did see some tape. I did talk to more than one person about it. But, yeah, I got a few things to say about that. If you want to talk about this or anything else, you can call me at 800-920-1580. 800-920-1580. I'm Dominique DeFrima for KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DeFrima when we come forward.
Hey, KBLA delegation, you know what's better than laughing? Laughing while celebrating the legends who made us laugh in the first place. KBLA Talk 1580 is proud to present our annual Black History Month luncheon. And this year, we're honoring comedy greats, trailblazers who broke barriers, and funny bones at the same time.
You had to grow up early when we was growing up because your parents would send you to the store to buy. You was too young to buy. I want you to go to the store, get me a fifth of gin and a pack of cigarettes. Mama, I'm 2. They ain't gonna let me have that. Here, take this note. You be a little boy walking down the street with liquor and cigarettes. And your neighbors be going, that's a good little boy right there.
We need a little levity right about now. So we're rolling out the red carpet for comedy royalty. D.L. Hughley, Melanie Camacho, Earthquake, Lunel, Dion Cole, Martin Lawrence, and a surprise guest appearance. It's going up Thursday, February 26th in downtown LA at the Grammy Museum. An unforgettable afternoon of stories, celebration, and yes, plenty of laughs, because let's be real, these legends don't just tell jokes. They have changed the game, opened doors, and made history while making us smile.
You gotta go to child support court. You gotta get there real early in the morning. You see brothers going into court. You see them come out 3 hours later. I can't pay this. Let me talk to you, baby. Please, let me talk to the witness, Your Honor. Let me talk to the witness. Brother be working for 3 weeks, get his check is $43.
This year, for the first time ever, we have set aside a limited number of individual tickets for the luncheon. They are going to go fast, and when they're gone, they're gone. So, if you want a single ticket, or if your company or organization wants to sponsor a table, move swiftly and get to KBLA1580.com right now. All these comedy giants in one room, on one stage, at the same time? Stop it! This event is going to sell out quicker than right now, and sooner than at once. KBLA Talk 1580's annual Black History Month luncheon, Thursday, February 26th at the Grammy Museum. It's gonna be legendary, just like them.
What's up? What's up?
What's up? You got to laugh the pain away.
It's game day. Are your moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keeping you from the action? Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, could help you get back to the game. Skyrizi is proven to help people feel significant symptom relief, achieve remission, and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine for adults. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's or ulcerative colitis. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's and ulcerative colitis combined. Learn more at skyrizi.com or 1-866-SKYRIZI.
Your ancestors' favorite radio station, and your favorite morning show host. Let's get back to Dominique DePrima right now.
Right, so a lot of people were talking about how the online, but also folks I talked to offline on the phone or in person, were saying that when young people were fighting, the cops were standing back. They were not stopping those fights. And some folks use that as an excuse to to say that it's our fault, the cops didn't intervene because we would complain if they went and killed someone or harmed someone. And yes, we would, and we should. Because I guarantee you that if those children were fighting, or young people, even if they aren't children, or fighting at a mall in Bel Air, they wouldn't be in danger of dying if the police intervened. So that's a key difference, right? But, some were saying, oh, they're not intervening because they don't want to look bad on King Day. And others were saying, well, it's a setup, or they, go after the people that aren't fighting and yell at them and attack them while allowing the young people to continue to fight. To me, whether it's one or the other or both, it doesn't matter. What it shows you is that what was needed in that situation were more intervention workers, not more cops. People who knew those people or knew what sets they were from, what neighborhoods they were from, who could go and talk to them and have some influence and not have to end up killing people, or who could, use neighborhood clout, community clout to de-escalate. That, to me, is what was needed, not a more aggressive or less aggressive, I could say less aggressive, but not a more aggressive police stance. When I say I could say less aggressive, what I mean by that is not yelling at, screaming at, bullying, or harassing the people who weren't in the fight or fights. And folks want to say, well, it's King Day, the worst time to act out. Okay, well, do you expect people, young people or whatever, people of whatever age, on a very hot day, when there's a big crowd, to say, you know what, I'll save my fight for another day when it's not King Day, in honor of Dr. Martin Luther King? That's fantasy land. That's just not how human behavior is. Y'all know that. Anyway, I wanted to point that out because I know some folks are going to be talking about it today, and I hope that you'll spend at least a moment thinking to myself on this Talking Point Tuesday, what am I saying? Are the talking points that I'm spewing helping or harming my community? And do I know this to be true? Or am I just repeating a rumor? Do I know this to be true? Or am I just simply trolling for clicks, looking for shock value, trying to think of something to think about? I don't know what it is, but let's think. Let's stop and think, and on this Talking Point Tuesday, be clear about what it is that, what it is, the impact we're having with what we're saying. Okay. Did you all sign up for the 2028 Olympics yet? Have you gone online and got in line virtually to get tickets? I'm saying it because I did. And I know some folks are against the Olympics because of the possible consequences politically. I love the Olympics. And, if you want to call, love, hate, whatever, it's all good. 800-920-1580. I love 800-920-1580. I've been told I talk fast. I love the Olympics. I love seeing the human achievement, the greatness, the results of the hard work and discipline of athletes from all over the world, the cultural exchange. I think it's a beautiful thing. I'm looking forward to it. I hope it happens. And I say that because of all of the travel restrictions and visa restrictions that this administration is putting on the world. We see there's a huge boycott going on right now of the World Cup. People are canceling their flights and their tickets because of the restrictions and the policies of the Trump administration, because people, they're seeing what's happening. We're seeing what ICE is doing, and who wants to come for a vacation here? I wouldn't, to be honest with you. Anyway, some folks are boycotting and canceling. But hopefully it will happen. And hopefully the Olympics will happen. I signed up. You go online, and if you live in certain zip codes, which are LA zip codes, all the way to Long Beach and different parts of LA County, not just the city, you can register and you get cheaper tickets. It's a draw, I guess. You go on there and you say, you tell them who you are, your zip code. You tell them what sports you like. It is not too late to do this, and I think you should, because I feel like we're going to be feeling sad that we didn't do it when 2028 comes and all of these great boxing matches and gymnastics and soccer is happening right in our backyard, and we don't get to go, but we still have to deal with the traffic and so I did that. They were talking about the technical glitches. I guess they exist. I didn't experience those technical glitches. For me, it was easy peasy, and I put down all my faves: track and field, boxing, gymnastics, basketball, all the stuff I would love to see. So Rick Caruso now saying he's not running for governor or mayor. You know me, I welcome that decision, but I wonder what that means. He's not going to run for mayor. He's not going to run for governor in 2026. What he didn't say is that he won't run for any office ever. I think his dollars will be in the race. And I'm quite sure they won't be behind Mayor Karen Bass. His dollars will still be in the race. His opinions will still be in the race. He will still get disproportionate mic time from mainstream media in LA. But I think for me, it's good news, because the governor's race already has way too many people in it who call themselves Democrats, leading to our major candidates being both Republicans, which is not good news. And also because the mayor's race is shaping up to be rather tricky too, right? With the Mayor Karen Bass, being flanked on her left and right by Democrats. Not to mention we've got a Republican in the mayor's race, which I guess the guy's a reality TV star. Don't know a lot about him, but so maybe I should not speak prematurely. Maybe he does have a chance. I would imagine someone with no experience in politics at all, who's also MAGA, would probably not stand a chance in LA, but you never know. The guy's name is Spencer Pratt. I don't know a lot about him. I haven't seen the Accountant movies. I heard people really, really like them, but I haven't had a chance to see them. And I guess he's, very famous, fairly well known. He used to say he hated politics, but now he's decided to run for mayor. And he was on that show, The Hills, which I didn't watch. I'm not a big reality TV person, although I'm trying to get myself to watch more. And he's already attacking the mayor. So he's been already endorsed by a bunch of prominent Republicans, including Senator Rick Scott from Florida, who felt he needed to weigh in on the mayor's race. And the former Oath Keeper, Riverside Sheriff Chad Bianco, who's sort of like an incarnation of Alex Villanueva, also running for mayor. So, the mayor's race is already tricky enough without adding a billionaire, newly minted Democrat, Rick Caruso. Certainly will be interesting to see how he moves, though, in this election year. We got news, traffic, and sports, and love to hear from you. 800-920-1580. I'm Dominique DePrima for KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DePrima when we come forward.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. Reverend Dr. Bernice King delivered a fiery address on her father's 97th birthday at Ebenezer Baptist Church in Atlanta, urging an end to state-sanctioned violence.
We are living in a moral crisis. Our humanity is at stake.
Before the speech, she posted on X calling for justice for Black and brown immigrants and all people. Residents in Lexington, Kentucky's Kenwick neighborhood are urging hate groups to stay away after KKK flyers were found on porches and lawns. A neighborhood leader says the materials were likely dropped by outsiders hoping to shock people on Martin Luther King Jr. Day. And the Atlanta Hawks will bring back their Martin Luther King Jr. tribute jerseys next season. The team first wore the Special City Edition look a few years ago and confirmed the return before their 2-point loss to Milwaukee on MLK Day. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Got issues with youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit, offers more than 1,000 free online resources for youth and high school sports coaches, parents, students, and administrators. Visit PCADevZone.org.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The best story in the NBA right now is the Clippers. They won their 6th straight game Monday with a 110-106 win at Washington. The and 2 since December 20th. They've improved to 19-23 and have moved into 10th place in the Western Conference, the final playoff spot in the West. Major props to Clippers coach Ty Lue and his staff for keeping the team above water during some tough times. The Clippers go for 7 straight tonight in Chicago. The Lakers begin an 8-game road trip tonight in Denver. Congratulations to the University of Indiana. For the first time in the school's 106-year history, they are national champions in football. Indiana beat Miami Monday night 27-21 to cap a 16-0 season. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
I'm Reverend Gerald, the life coach. Is someone you love struggling with addiction and mental illness? Is improving your family's health important? Want to leave a legacy that your family can grow? Are you ready to enhance your perception of life experiences? Then wake up weekends at 7 a.m. with Urban Family Focus and get the wisdom, opportunity, resources, and motivation to live your best life. Join the conversation on Urban Family Focus Saturday and Sunday at 7 a.m.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with the world. African Focus Incorporated is a community-based organization whose mission is to bring Africans and African Americans together, lead charitable initiatives on the motherland, and educate people from all walks of life on the beauty, legacy, and opportunity of Africa's 54 nations. And it's that time once again when African Focus is teaming up with KBLA Talk 1580 for our 8th annual African Focus Trailblazers Tour. Travel with us in 2026 when we're headed to the southern African nations of Zambia and Botswana for a historical, cultural, and vacation tour led by me, Dominique DePrima, Cultural Ambassador for African Focus Incorporated. Enjoy luxurious accommodations, conscious fellow travelers, shopping, adventures, cultural tours, wildlife safaris, and a giant waterfall, one of the world's 7 wonders, along with a chance to be of service at an orphanage on the continent. Become an AFI Trailblazer by exploring the motherland with a nonprofit organization that has members in Africa and America to help roll out the red carpet for you, and together we'll make a difference and have fun doing it. For more information, visit africanfocus.org or call 310-676-7300. That's 310-676-7300 or africanfocus.org. Whether it's stateside or exploring the diaspora, we're with you every step of the way. African Focus and KBLA Talk 1580. Come go with us.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line. But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
Thanks for waking up with Dominique DePrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
Yes, thank you. I do appreciate you. 800-920-1580. That's the number if you want to call. You know, the LA Times does make a point about the Caruso campaigns, potential campaigns for mayor and governor, which is that right now, Mayor Karen Bass is bouncing back in the polls. And with so many people in the governor's race, it doesn't look good for him. So that's what they're claiming. They're claiming that maybe he saw some polling that made him think he wouldn't win. And after spending $100 million of his own money, or almost $100 million, I guess some of it was campaign donations, he's going to be hesitant to step back in. I could see that, and I could see where he might have a better chance in 2032 or it would be 2030, I guess, or for some other office. Who knows? Certainly, the money that he spent and the press that he's gotten as a result of running would make him a contender for any major race that he just chooses to run for in another year. But apparently he's not going to be a factor as a candidate in 2020. Paul says it in the chat. He'll still influence politics and statewide. Absolutely. I mean, what billionaire doesn't? I think at this point, that's the formula. The billionaires are the puppeteers, right? But he probably has more influence because he is a politically known faction, and the way that he moved following the fires was strategic, and he got a lot of press since he is from Palisades, and he also has a business out there. There was a lot of interviewing of him by mainstream media, so I imagine that he will be even more of a factor than other billionaires might be. I imagine so. I don't think that him saying he's not running means that, that's the last we'll hear of him in the mayor's race or the governor's race. Not at all. In fact, I expect him to put his thumb on the scale rather heavily in favor of somebody in both of those races. And we'll be tracking where that goes. Still early in the year on this election year, but nevertheless, it is off to a busy start. You saw that to some degree in the parade yesterday with politicians riding in the parade, shaking hands, kissing babies, all that stuff that we that we're used to seeing in any parade, but it definitely goes hard on these election years. Good news. Well, I think it's good news as long as it stands, and we know the appeals are coming, but a judge has dismissed the Department of Justice lawsuit that would have forced the state to hand over all of California's voter records, all of the information, addresses, names, and everything that's on that voter data. The judge said no, that this is an unprecedented and illegal request, which would, by centralizing all this data, which is exactly what the Trump administration is trying to do, make no mistake, And they have done to a great extent. Because remember when Doge was in there, when Elon Musk was in there and he stole all of our information, which he's probably now using to promote SpaceX and Tesla and the Boring Company, he was creating communication between these different agencies that hold our data, like Social Security and the IRS, which have traditionally operated in their own silos. And if he can create this massive database with everybody's information in one place, it will be easier to violate our civil rights. And that's more or less what the judge says, that it will stop people from registering to vote because they're not going to want to be in that database, and it will make Americans scared about what could happen with their personal information. I'm already there. You know, as soon as Mr. Musk started downloading all of our information into his personal drives or whatever he did with it, and having his little Doge enthusiasts, I guess I'll say, fanatics, get access to every American's info. I was already concerned about that. And so I'm happy to see that U.S. District Judge David O. Carter, who we know more from the unhoused people conversation, I was happy to see him reject that demand from the Secretary of State to turn over all of our data. I'm assuming that this Justice Department will take this all the way, try to take it to the Supreme Court. I don't know, but at least we have bought ourselves some time. And that lawsuit is a response to an executive order by the president that is saying that voters will now need proof of citizenship to vote, even though study after study and data after data has shown that undocumented folks don't vote. Why would they do something that might risk them getting not only discovered and deported, but if they were to so-called get away with it, it could be the crime that keeps them from getting citizenship when they finally are called in for a hearing? It doesn't make sense. But that's another L for Pam Bondi. Keep those L's coming. And I love that Judge David O. Carter called them out for trying to use the Civil Rights Act to justify their very dystopian and fascist agenda. That's kind of the playbook right now, right? Try to get rid of the Civil Rights Act and all of the things that Martin Luther King Jr. fought for, but at the same time, while they're around, use them against trans people, against black people, against DEI, against affirmative action, against women. It is craven, and it is all bad. So I don't shout out to a judge. Do we shout out a judge? I don't know. I was happy to see it. Really, really happy to see it. DA Nathan Hochman, you're right, Paul. He was in the parade. He was in a convertible waving at folks. Paul says nobody was cheering or feeling him. Surprise, surprise. I mean, he's brought back the death penalty, the egregious enhancements, sentence enhancements, what they call gang enhancement, which make long sentences even longer. It's lock them up and throw away the key, which doesn't cure anybody. It doesn't rehabilitate anybody. It fills up our prisons and jails so they can continue to be profit centers for the wealthy. And it's just ridiculous. It's part of the over-policing, over-imprisoning, not just the prison industrial complex, the prison and justice industrial complex. Let's go to Kwamel calling us from Gardena. Good morning, Kwamel.
Hello there. Hello there. Hello there.
Good morning.
Yeah, that young point you just brought up, doesn't the right just love detaining people and blowing a lot of money on that?
Yes.
What is that pattern? You know, they'll run hysteria about yes, we got to get these people out the paint. We got to throw them out of the country. Get them out of our country. Like they, they always kind of like stick it that exact way with that weird emphasis, sounding like Trumpy. And instead, then they end up just detaining them. And I'm like, is that not spoiling bread and wasting the money they could have been making?
Is the detention the point, though, Kwamel? Is it the point? I mean, if Trump's friends, a bunch of his billionaire oligarchs, which we know for sure has happened, have invested in these detention centers, and we already know they're starting to force these so-called migrants that they round up to work for free. Is the detention the point? I was reading in the LA Times actually yesterday about how deportations to Mexico were down last year. So that means Biden actually deported more people than Trump, but Trump is detaining way more people. So is the slave labor, is the harassment, is hiring all these, Proud Boys, J6 coup guys as untrained, unfettered, nutcase law enforcement, private army, Gestapo? Is that the point?
I'd have to wonder because they just love this lockup stuff. They just love this have people sit indefinitely stuff and never actually put folks in courts and have them get their sentence. And it's just a ridiculous waste of the thing they claim they want to save, which is money. It's quite silly to me. But also I wanted to go back to what you were talking about with the King Parade, and everybody kind of starts jumping on a bandwagon of what to say, just kind of about black youth and things. There's a whole thing. Paul and I were talking about it on Saturday and on his Zoom call, where I'm just concerned about when people get into pathology fodder. You've got to be careful, and that's why it was a good point to get at your black friends in media about just starting a pathology loop amongst us all that makes us say, "Oh, we got to do better. We ain't S," and it's a constant knee-jerk go-to thing to create this hysteria.
Yep.
Just like, you see all those skinny dudes in hoodies on TV running out of some mall or some jewelry store. It's like, what's all these rando, 18 and 20-year-old bodies in hoodies doing just running? It's just this weird lemming squad. And it's the same thing in verbal form when, folks kind of create a pathology like we're just dumb and going to be doing some sort of animal instinct thing, which is, of course, yeah.
And as if our teenagers are the only teenagers who fight or while out, which we know is bull. And that is exactly what it is. Those are the talking points, Kwamel. You nailed it. We got to do better. We ain't ish. We're savages. That's why we can't have nice things. That's why we need the po-po. Why are you saying that? To me, it's self-hate and selective amnesia. Like, you don't remember the stuff you did, and you grow up to be a judge, a lawyer, you grew up to be a senator, you grew up to be a social media star, whatever you grew up to be, something. You managed, you survived, you managed to survive young adulthood and become a productive citizen of some kind. I wonder if people are falling into a trap and not paying attention to what they're saying and just, or, as I said earlier, they're just trying to get clicks on social media, or if they are part of the MAGA agenda, because these talking points are so destructive to our community that I sometimes wonder if these folks are ops.
It goes to what I was, saying last week about all the not our fight stuff.
Yeah.
Started to come out all extra knee jerk, but it also, and I will leave you with this, goes to what Angela Davis, I believe it was Angela Davis that was saying it, about how revolutionaries and reactionaries cannot be the same person. Think about that.
There you go. There's a talking point for your Tuesday. Thank you, Kwamel. Kwamel called me at 800-920-1580. I invite you to do the same. We've got a lot to talk about. We do. KBLA Talk 1580.
Say the quiet part out loud. KBLA Talk 1580.
Still battling a thirsty lawn that guzzles water and drains your wallet? Let LADWP turn that patch of grass into a gorgeous, drought-smart garden for free. We're talking a full California-friendly landscape makeover designed and installed by pros at no cost to you. That's right, LADWP does the work, you get the upgrade. Ready to transform your yard and save big? Visit LADWP.com/leap. That's LADWP.com/LEAP.
What make you? Yeah.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Worried about eviction? You have rights, and Stay Housed LA can help. Stay Housed LA is a partnership between LA County, the City of Los Angeles, and local service providers. From Lancaster to Long Beach, we're here to help you with tenant education workshops, legal clinics, free legal services for eligible tenants, and online resources about tenant protection laws. Don't face eviction alone. Call our hotline at 1-888-694-0040. That's 1-888-694-0040. Or visit stayhousedla.org. Stay Housed LA, keeping Los Angeles residents in their homes. Stay Housed LA, your rights, your home, our community. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
It's never too early to start talking about money in realistic ways with your kids. JP Morgan Chase navigates how to educate your kids now about creating long-lasting, healthy money habits. Whether your kids are in elementary school, high school, or college, now is a great time to start a conversation about ways to create healthy money habits as they grow, ultimately benefiting their financial future. Talking about money in a realistic way to support your kids' lifestyle and dreams, your first banking account geared towards high school or college. It's never too early. Explaining the basics, what you earn and what you spend, building financial confidence starts with getting organized. Learning and practicing vital money skills now will stay with them for life. Tools they will have to stay on top of their finances and achieve their goals. This segment is sponsored by JP Morgan Chase.
It's game day. Are your moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keeping you from the action? Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, could help you get back to the game. Skyrizi is proven to help people feel significant symptom relief, achieve remission, and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine for adults. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's or ulcerative colitis.
Control is everything to me.
Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's and ulcerative colitis combined. Learn more at skyrizi.com or 1-866-SKYRIZI.
We knew you'd stick around. This is LA's home for progressive talk radio. Be heard. Welcome back to KBLA Talk 1580.
Dang, I hadn't even seen this. I was just looking at an article that I had pulled before about how international soccer fans are canceling their trip to the World Cup in 2026 because of Trump and ICE, and it probably seems pretty scary to travel here right now, and all of these visa restrictions. And now this has become a social media phenomenon where soccer fans are boycotting and some are canceling. And especially after we went in and kidnapped by we I mean Trump, went in and kidnapped the Venezuelan president. A lot of people said, no, we're going to cancel. I think it's at least 17,000 fans that have already canceled their trip and got rid of their tickets. What's happening in Minneapolis is also impacting this, but I did not realize until I looked this up again that now Germany is talking about boycotting the World Cup because of Greenland, because Trump is threatening to go into Greenland. And Germany is saying their national team, the whole team might boycott, not the fans coming, but the actual players, because they want to pressure President Trump to come to his senses about Greenland. Now, I don't think that's going to work, by the way. I don't think Trump gives two body functions about about the World Cup. I really don't think he does, unless he has an investment in it. He liked the little fake peace prize that they gave him, but Germany's a NATO member. They're trying to stand up for Denmark and remind the president, flex the power of NATO, but I do not think that he cares about the World Cup. I don't think that's an effective strategy, but if enough countries start doing it, the whole World Cup could end up being canceled, which I don't think. I might be wrong about this, but I don't think that's ever happened before. It shows you the direness of the moment. And I'll be sad because I was looking forward to the World Cup coming here to LA. I'm not a soccer uber fan, but I love the international exchange. I do know soccer. I watch the game. I used to have a very good friend that was a soccer player, and I'd go to a lot of soccer games. So, I know this will be a big loss, not just for LA, but for American business. I mean, the airlines, the hotels, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Apparently, our president doesn't care, which is interesting since he's supposed to be Mr. Capitalist, unless he specifically is making money off it. I don't think he cares. I really don't. I wanted to mention 10 Toes In. They were on this show. It's an organization that she came on Messy Monday, actually, the founder, and or Black Marriage Monday, I think it was. And their organization, what they do is they provide support for men who are formerly incarcerated or who are currently incarcerated, who are in relationships with women that are not, and women who are in relationships with formerly incarcerated men or men who are still in prison. And I learned a lot from that show. Just things you don't think about, what it would change about you to have done time, right? Or what it's like to try to be in a relationship after you've been institutionalized like that, or if you are in an institution. Anyway, they're having something today. It's a virtual support for women who are romantically involved with incarcerated or formerly incarcerated men. They're having something tonight, 7 to 9, and you can join virtually. You can call them 310-612-3977, 310-612-3977. The organization is called 10 Toes In. It's 10 Toes In and then _ on Instagram. They also have support groups for men. They've just opened an office in Compton. They have couples groups, including one that's coming up on the 24th, which is a incarcerated couples group. They have in-person and they have virtual. So I just wanted to put that out there because it's a great resource. And post-holidays is when some of these relationship problems can get a little bit more serious, or our own internal struggles can get a little tougher. I know mine are. So I would encourage you to get that support and help if you can, if you need it. Looking forward to talking with Cerise Castle when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. Reverend Dr. Bernice King delivered a fiery address on her father's 97th birthday at Ebenezer Baptist Church in Atlanta, urging an end to state-sanctioned violence.
We are living in a moral crisis. Our humanity is at stake.
Before the speech, she posted on X calling for justice for Black and brown immigrants and all people. Residents in Lexington, Kentucky's Kenwick neighborhood are urging hate groups to stay away after KKK flyers were found on porches and lawns. A neighborhood leader says the materials were likely dropped by outsiders hoping to shock people on Martin Luther King Jr. Day. And the Atlanta Hawks will bring back their Martin Luther King Jr. tribute jerseys next season. The team first wore the Special City Edition look a few years ago and confirmed the return before their 2-point loss to Milwaukee on MLK Day. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Got issues with youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit, offers more than 1,000 free online resources for youth and high school sports coaches, parents, students, and administrators. Visit PCADevZone.org.
Hey, KBLA delegation, you know what's better than laughing? Laughing while celebrating the legends who made us laugh in the first place. KBLA Talk 1580 is proud to present our annual Black History Month luncheon. And this year, we're honoring comedy greats, trailblazers who broke barriers, and funny bones at the same time.
You had to grow up early when we was growing up because your parents would send you to the store to buy. You was too young to buy. I want you to go to the store, get me a fifth of gin and a pack of cigarettes. Mama, I'm 2. They ain't gonna let me have that. Here, take this note. You be a little boy walking down the street with liquor and cigarettes. And your neighbors be going, that's a good little boy right there.
We need a little levity right about now. So we're rolling out the red carpet for comedy royalty. D.L. Hughley, Melanie Camacho, Earthquake, Lunel, Dion Cole, Martin Lawrence, and a surprise guest appearance. It's going up Thursday, February 26th in downtown LA at the Grammy Museum. An